when it came to unloving DMX. He said DMX never bowed down to Jay, and that's exactly why Jay blackballed him. Jay couldn't pull the strings on X the way he did with others, and it drove him mad. According to Cat, he saw it all play out firsthand and even reached out to DMX because he understood the struggle. He too was blackballed for refusing to play along with those bizarre industry games. Things really started crumbling for X once Jay slid into Def Jam, and Irv Gotti, Jay's old best friend, even confirmed that it wasn't some random downfall. He claims Jay deliberately worked behind the scenes to crush DMX's career until there was nothing left, leaving X fighting his demons with substances just to cope. And here's the part a lot of people forget. Jay-Z and DMX weren't just label mates. They actually knew each other before fame.
Everybody knows you've had battles throughout the years.
Yeah.
So at the time, they were saying that, you was on drugs. That's why they didn't want to invest in you.
Right. They already invested. What you mean they didn't want to invest? They already invested. Like I said, the album was recorded, shot the video, everything. That was just some bullshit. You know what that was.
Do you ever feel
Let's
like
get
people,
rid of the competition.
Do you ever feel like people at the label didn't do enough for you when they could tell that you really needed help? Or do you think that you were too far gone?
No, I was never too far gone. It just, all I needed was just do me like you do everybody else. You don't sit there and speculate about this and think about this and assume this. Just do me like you do everybody else, and it's gonna be all right, man. But that never happened.
So I think with DMX too, you never, Def Jam, I feel, never put a lot into DMX. It was always the groundwork with DMX.
But the real chaos started when Jay became president at Def Jam and allegedly used that power to sabotage DMX purely out of jealousy. Remember, DMX had the rap game in a chokehold.
What happened was, I had the crazy track record at Def Jam, everything was good. I go to do the 6th album.
Jay-Z became president.
Yeah, when he first got the job, he hit me with the call like, yo, dog, MH is running the building, like, yo, you good. Finish the album, shoot the video. What happened? Let's go on vacation and, we don't know. What you mean you don't know? How do you listen to a whole album, pick a single, shoot a video, then don't know? Okay, I see what's really good. You're trying to eliminate the competition. Because at first you retire, then get me off the label, now you're back rapping again. Okay. It's all good. That's all.
5 consecutive #1 albums on the Billboard 200, back to back, like no one had ever done before. But all that dominance came crashing down once Jay stepped in, and DMX himself even blasted Jay in a radio interview, accusing him of straight up sabotaging his career.
I ever had, I was like, we gotta sign DMX, and they laughed at me. I remember when I left the office, Tina Davis said, she knew I wanted to sign DMX. She said, DMX don't sell, your ass is fired. Jay and Dame did not believe in DMX. Jay would be like, you think he's better than me? And I'd be like, he's nice just like you. I said, if you look in the hood, there's less of like you and more like him. Yeah, but he don't want to live that. He's depressing, Gotti. And I said, I don't give a f. So Jay used to watch me grind with X, and he was off with the Hitman. And then something strange happened when I made Get At It.
And don't forget, Jay's ex-best friend Irv Gotti already put him on blast too. According to Irv, Jay was flat out jealous of DMX and even blocked a joint project that he, J. Rule, and X had lined up. Why? Because X outshined him on the track and Jay couldn't stomach it.
X was with it, Ja was with it.
Jay wasn't with it.
I tried 2 times to make that album happen. X was with it, Ja was with it.
Why you think Jay didn't want to be about it?
This is just my opinion. Just my opinion. I don't think Jay wanted to get in that room with X and Ja. It was not.
One more than the other, or both?
No, both. Jay is a very smart person. He's gonna do an album with R. Kelly. R. Kelly worships Jay-Z. Worships him.
And Kanye West.
Kanye West worships Jay-Z.
And Jay Electronica.
They all worship him. X and Ja don't worship Jay-Z. You're my man, but when that beat comes on, you're not above me getting at you. And that's what I do not feel Jay wanted to deal with. He didn't want to deal with. I'm saying they would come at each other subliminally. So it wasn't a direct hit where they're gonna say your name and things. But they coming at you. So do I want to make a whole album with these coming at me? And if I'm Jay-Z, there's a slight chance that what is gonna say I'm not the nicest.
That's what
Right. It's not worth it.
Where's my win?
Right.
The only thing I'm seeing with this is potential loss. But now people are saying, he's better than you.
That cold shoulder Jay gave X set the stage for their messy relationship that dragged on for years. Sure, they linked up on a few songs here and there, but word in the industry was they were secretly beefing behind the curtains until the day X passed. Irv even claimed there was a full collaborative album ready to drop with X, Jay, and J. Rule, but it never saw the light of day because Jay was salty about being overshadowed. Some whispers even alleged Jay's jealousy ran so deep that it pushed him to take X out.
Publicly, Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Porter?
people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
And that Beyonce knows exactly what went down, but stays quiet to protect her man. And honestly, it's her husband. Of course she's going to ride for him no matter what. But here's where it gets darker. Rumors say Beyonce herself has skeletons in the closet, and Jay has allegedly covered for her too. Remember Jaguar's wild accusations? She said Jay-Z and Beyonce had people trapped in their house, claiming they even played a role in Aaliyah's tragic death and in the passing of Jay's late pregnant mistress, Kathy White. Now when it comes to Kathy White, fans started digging, and some believe Beyonce herself may have hinted at it in her track Daughter. The lyrics were disturbingly specific, describing a bloody scene and even a bathroom attendant who supposedly helped Beyonce and Jay clean it up.
Taken unfairly. She actually died screaming, and the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think? And maybe he just had to clean it up to protect the brand's sake. I mean, I'm just speculating.
She's saying lines like, "Your body laid out on these filthy floors. Your blood stains on my custom couture. Bathroom attendant let me right in. She was a big fan. I really tried to stay cool, but your arrogance disturbed my solitude." Now I ripped your dress and you're all black and blue. Look what you made me do. Those chilling words had people convinced she was confessing in plain sight. Officially, Kathy's death was ruled a brain aneurysm, but Jaguar claimed otherwise. She swore Jay and Beyonce were behind it. According to her, Jay made the call because Beyonce had already discovered the affair, and she was about to handle it herself if he didn't. That twisted rumor turned Kathy's passing into one of the darkest stories tied to the couple. And circling back to DMX, the tension with Jay was so loud that Jay eventually had to speak up.
Matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with. Cat Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we talk about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we talking about comedy, right, where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves and is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting in it, I promise you that it will be twice as funny as it would be with him getting. So considering that's the real story, why would you bring up that story? 35 members of the cast and crew have never brought up that Ricky Smiley was going to play Money Mike. No one ever saw me put on a Santa Claus suit. We got a wardrobe department. They made a Santa Claus suit for me. Why that wasn't in the bloopers? All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. Takes any of them, all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. People want to know, why would he get blackballed?
Yeah,
because in 30 years I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
you would tell it.
No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that. I value that. I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Why? Because they canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my in front of all my people at my agent.
He publicly downplayed the feud, saying there was still love between them. But if you listen to Irv Gotti's side of the story, it didn't sound like love at all, more like cold-blooded rivalry. And word in the streets is Cat Williams also believes Jay had to make those moves to silence X. But here's where it gets even crazier. The so-called confessions don't just stop with Kathy White. Some fans believe Beyonce has been slipping hints into her music for years, almost like she's daring people to connect the dots. And when you put those lyrics next to Jaguar's accusations, the puzzle pieces start looking way too sharp to ignore. Jaguar has repeatedly claimed that Beyonce and Jay operate like a secret power couple, covering for each other's darkest moves while the industry keeps them untouchable. Now let's connect it back to DMX, because he wasn't scared to speak his truth. X called Jay out publicly more than once, blasting him on air and warning people that Jay was using his position to choke out other artists. According to insiders, Jay hated how X could walk into any room and command attention without ever kissing the ring. That raw authenticity made Jay insecure, especially when DMX's 5 back-to-back #1 albums left Jay looking like the underdog. And while Jay tried to play it cool in interviews, insiders whisper he was furious behind closed doors. That's why many believe Jay pulled strings to sabotage X's career from the top down, while Beyonce allegedly worked overtime to keep his image squeaky clean. Cat Williams says he saw this industry game for what it really was, a system that punishes anyone who refuses to bow down. And that's why X's story is starting to feel less like bad luck and more like a calculated takedown, and the industry receipts just keep piling up. When Jay became president of Def Jam, insiders claim he didn't just want to run the label, he wanted to rewrite the entire hierarchy of rap. That meant clearing out anyone who threatened his throne, and DMX was target number one. At the time, X was untouchable, pulling crowds, dominating the charts, and moving units like no other. But once Jay got the power, deals started drying up, budget shrank, and suddenly X was painted as difficult to work with. Convenient, right? Irv Gotti even admitted that Def Jam politics were shady during Jay's reign, and that the label played favorites in a way that clearly cut X out of opportunities. Fans say this wasn't random at all. It was a surgical strike to dismantle DMX's...
It wasn't random. Not at all. Because, to be honest, Jay-Z did hate it. DMX. I have seen the BET Awards when DMX was alive and Jay-Z was on stage. Jay-Z would make these jabs, but he'd be looking dead at DMX the whole time when making those jabs. Because DMX straight up bitch slapped him in the music industry. His hits were number one. Ambulance Rider, Ride 'Em Dirty, What These Bitches Want, stuff like that. Those kind of tracks go hard, and Jay-Z did not like it. Beyonce and Jay-Z are like, how can I say this? Like a couple of damn slave masters. They don't like nobody standing up against them. They don't like nobody standing against them at all. They want them all bowing down, kissing their ass. And everything, and that's the truth. As long as you kiss their ass, they happy. The moment you go outside of that, plain example, here's a good example of that. Without Rihanna and Jay-Z reward there. Jay-Z wanted Rihanna's reward. As simple as that. They done, but this is how it's done. He wanted her to give her reward to him. As simple as that. Okay? Jay-Z is a bully. He wants all the rewards, all the recognition, all the spotlight. He don't want to share with nobody. Just like Beyonce wants it all. Now she's trying to go in a country and claim she's the queen of country when she's not the queen of country. I'm sorry, Beyonce. Your dumb ass would never be the fucking queen of country. You might not like that right there, but let's just face it. You do not have any pull in the country music war. It is because that little bitch ass owner, CEO, Grand Opry is a fan of yours. That's the only reason why you got in the country, because he pulls strings to get you in there. Because everybody now knows that you pulling strings, attacking artists, so you be the only queen in that area. I'm sorry, but you're not the queen of the country. So your stupid ass better stop saying that shit. Because I got something to tell you. We country boys do not like hip hop artists getting into country. We do not. Stay in your fucking lane. Stay in your own fucking generation of music. Because you took Dolly Parton music. You took a Red Atlantic song and put cuss words and all that shit. I don't appreciate that shit. And Dolly Parton might kiss your ass. But if Red Atlantic was still alive, you did that shit. Trust me, baby girl, you would not like the outcome. Anyway, I think a lot of this is going to show out that Jay-Z had a lot of people killed just to keep power.
And to make things worse, Jay's circle allegedly fed stories to the press about X's personal struggles, making sure his reputation crumbled as fast as his career. Meanwhile, Beyonce was being positioned as the golden untouchable, someone who could do no wrong. Rumors swirled that Jay used his industry pull not just to protect her, but to bury anyone who might have threatened their image as hip-hop's royal couple. And when you line up the timelines, the downfall of DMX looks less like a natural decline and more like a power play. Cat Williams claims this is exactly how the industry operates. Protect the chosen ones, silence the threats, and blackball anybody who doesn't play along. And when it comes to DMX's death, some believe Jay had a hand in pushing him out of the picture simply because X refused to bow down. If anybody understands how the industry punishes you for refusing to sell your soul, it's Cat Williams. Remember, Cat revealed last year that while filming Friday After Next, producers pressured him to shoot a disturbing scene where Terry Crews was supposed to assault his character for laughs. Cat said no way. He told Ice Cube and the producers straight up that nothing about that was funny. But taking that stand was risky. It was his very first movie, and suddenly he was labeled difficult just for refusing to play along. Cat has always said that moment marked him as a target in Hollywood. Just like DMX, he felt the system tried to take him down because he wouldn't let himself be used for their agenda. The only difference? Cat lived to tell his story, while X never made it out. That's why Cat is now calling out Beyonce, saying she knows way more about what happened to X than she lets on. He allegedly believes the truth about DMX's killer won't come out until Beyonce starts talking. And of course, the fans are weighing in too. One person wrote, "Let's clear that up first. DMX was not scared of Diddy nor Jay-Z. He made that clear several times, especially in that interview where he spoke on the industry." Another said, "DMX wasn't just a rapper, he was a poet. One of the realest voices you could ever hear. Nobody did it like X." So what do you think? Was DMX sabotaged from the top, and is Beyonce hiding the truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, share, and like this video for more stories they don't want you to hear.
In 15 years.